Welcome to 40 Below Zero, an international podcast about life with invisible illnesses, hosted by two guys living with multiple sclerosis. Coming to you from the Keystone State of Pennsylvania, I'm your co-host Nix, and with me on this ride is Terry, a Londoner who calls Ontario home. We're so happy you're here with us as we continue to try and normalize a life that is anything but. So let's get into it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Oh my goodness, it's been 2 weeks. I can't believe it. It's been a heck of a 2 weeks, let me tell you, Terry.
Yeah, it has.
I spent most of all of last week lying flat on my back, counting ceiling tiles, because, I'm now that age where doing stuff causes you to throw your back out. So that's what I did. And that was the most painful experience I've had in a while.
So how'd you throw your back out?
Doing yard work, actually.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And
That's
just being born in the 80th year of the 1900s, that
yeah.
that kind of a thing.
Yeah. When were you born? 1919?
Yeah. Before the internet.
Yeah. Don't age us, man. I remember the first day, yeah. Oh my God, that's crazy. I
Yeah.
remember the first day when they sent a text to someone and that person replied.
Yeah.
We were like, oh my God, dude, it was the craziest moment. Anyway, let's
Yeah, I once got suspended from middle school because my pager went off in the middle of class.
pagers,
Yeah, that's how
pagers.
old I am, sir.
First it was text and then voice.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was quite the experience. I thought I had um I was afraid that I had started a flare up. I was, I'd hurt too many muscle groups that I was really afraid that that was going to happen. So I ended up in the hospital for a day just to get it checked out. Thankfully that was not the case. Thankfully it was just, muscles, but it was really like legs being what they are, as intermittent as they work.
Yeah.
Um, now all of a sudden the numbness and tingling and weakness is amplified. So now I'm like, oh no, this is just a symptom of the back issues, or is this something like
Yeah. It's a wait
so?
and see game, sometimes. That sucks, man. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, it was literally like 7 days lying flat on the ground.
Yeah.
And now I know that
You
I'm
know,
I'm reiterating the fact that it is very much okay to say no now. Like, no, I can't do that today.
if you're around the right people, saying no
Mhm.
is easy,
That's very true.
right?
It's very true.
When I get a relapse or an extreme flare up, my nauseousness comes
Oh,
hard.
really?
My vertigo, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
But I get really dizzy, and so from my experience, the last time I really got a relapse, I woke up and I was like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" You know that feeling, like your
Yes.
whole world's spinning,
Yep.
and it's debilitating because you can't, you're like, no, I got to keep lying down, and you're going through something, and then all of a sudden you realize your legs are a little tingly more than normal. That's my relapse,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want another one. That happened like 10 years ago, maybe 13 now. No, 8 years ago or some shit like that. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I'm
So
glad you're not going through that, and it's just muscle problems.
yeah. So they, just added a lot of medication, and it's just rest. You just gotta wait. You just gotta wait it out. Muscle relaxers. First time I had a muscle relaxer in a while. That's an interesting experience. When you experience numbness and weakness, and then you add a medication that makes it weaker
Yeah,
to
yeah,
relax the muscles,
yeah,
you really can't do anything. Your arms are kind of like jello. It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
So I'm at the tail end of it now. As you can see, I'm sitting up straight finally. But now it just reinforces the need for a daily, which I sort of had, but a much more targeted stretching and exercising routine, because I want to, instead of instead of trying to build the arm strength and the shoulders and all, now it's a lot more core focused. So core
Okay.
strength. So that's what I'm
Yeah, yeah.
working on now. So I don't want to
Well,
have that happen again because holy smokes,
you
that's
know,
enough for me.
my trainer hurts himself too. So
Well,
just to let you
he's
know,
human. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter how he, I don't know, something happened to his ankle. I forget now. He's gonna beat me on that.
Mhm.
But yeah, so like we all hurt ourselves as long as you know when to say, "Guy, I'm hurt. I need to take it easy
Yeah.
for a bit."
Yeah. My back definitely said, hey, you're hurt. You need a week off.
Yeah,
It was so painful. Anyway, so that's why that was my last week. I hear when you and I talked briefly yesterday,
yeah.
apparently you have a lot of stuff to talk about. So let's get
My
into it.
God. Okay, let's start with wheelchair rugby.
Okay.
So some guy, a buddy of mine, we'll meet him eventually. His name is Tyson. He came up to me and he goes, "Yo, have you watched Murder Ball?" Murder Ball? I
Yeah.
said, "No." He's like, "Before you do wheelchair rugby, watch that." So I'm like, "Okay." So I go home and I'm looking for it. It's on YouTube. You can find Murder Ball on YouTube.
Mhm.
And it's a documentary that was made, I don't know, 15, maybe 15 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe. And I watched 15, 20 minutes of that and I stopped it and I said, nah, I'm not doing that. I don't need to prove to no one how tough I am, but I ain't doing that. I thought wheelchair basketball was tough because, you know, they have something to prove.
Mhm.
I'm not doing it. So I might go check it out because I do want to see the people who do that in our town
Sure.
because that's pretty, you know, and maybe I'll hire one of them as a bodyguard. But yeah, so that's the wheelchair rugby
Okay.
story.
Well, I have seen Murder Ball
Oh yeah.
when it came
Okay.
out. Yeah. Um and you know, I appreciate that sport for its intensity. So there's the aspect of, you know, the not giving up that we possess because you know, you don't give up, you don't give in
Of course.
as much as you can. Um but this is on a whole nother level. So I look at that sport in the same way that I look at like bare knuckle fighting. You know, I know we've talked about that a lot. So it's there's no way I'm gonna ever do it, but it's so much respect for what they're doing. I'm just gonna be a cheerleader on the sidelines for that kind of stuff. So yeah, go check it
Okay.
out.
You know how power slap is a huge thing?
Yeah,
And people
that's
might have heard of it. I'm sure everyone's heard of it, but if it's a weird thing, isn't it?
I
And
think so.
that's why billions of people watched that video or whatever. And
Yeah.
you're like, it's weird. So wouldn't wheelchair fighting be weird?
We you and I talked about that. Remember we were joking
Dude,
about the
if we started a small venue, Dana would come and pick us up right away.
yeah.
Dude, right away.
No, I get it. I get it. Just like the
We could be the coaches on each side. Like
it's like
this is how you
there
roll
it
into
has
someone and then you block and you jump.
yeah.
Anyway, that's funny.
The logistics would be interesting for sure.
Yo, it would be watched.
But
I
then
don't care.
again, wait a minute. But then let's think about this. So like aren't we aren't we damaged enough? I don't know what other words to say, but like, do we need to
People
inflict pain intentionally? Like, do we not have enough of it?
people will watch, bro.
I know they will, but I'm saying as
And
like
then
you, for
after,
example, don't you think you have enough problems without getting punched in the face?
who said I would do it? It might fix my nose. And so I who's but it would be watched. Definitely. The more
Oh, for
cringe,
sure.
the more people will watch it.
Yeah, that's true. It speaks to our society as a whole, but that's a whole other show.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. Um, what else do I have to say? So listen, I was talking to by the way, side notes, I had two hernias done, right? So that is called a bilateral hernia. Did
Okay.
you know that?
Yes.
The reason why I'm saying this is because I was asking for someone's oh, I'll tell you why. I was coming home and the funniest thing is some car followed me home. Okay. And
Okay.
so I look behind me because he's turning every turn he's turning in my complex. So I'm like, oh, he must live here and he's being respectful. He's not passing me.
Okay.
So I turn into my front door. I turn and there's some people there. So I'm socializing and he pulls up next to us. and he opens his window and he goes, uh, "Hey, do you have a second?" That's what he says. Okay. So I look at him, and then my friend here looks at him as well, who's standing beside me. And he goes, "Me?" And he goes, "No, no, no. You, the guy in the wheelchair." So I'm thinking, did I piss someone off on the road? Is this some road rage happening right now? I have no idea. So I'm like, yeah, sure. What's up? And then he goes, hold on. He parked his car. He came out and he wanted to talk to me about my companion. You know, the companion that hooks up to my wheelchair that pulls me.
Yes. Yeah.
So he wanted me to talk, and he started talking to me about it. And then he asked me if I've ever heard of the Freedom Tracks. Freedom
Okay.
Tracks with two X's, yeah. And you were talking about that. Do you
Mm-hmm.
remember? And you know what's funny is I saw that guy the same day we released that episode where we were talking about the boardwalk.
Oh, okay.
And it was just coincidental that this guy was talking to me about the Freedom Tracks. And he says, I said, "Oh, yeah, I know about that. My buddy Nick told me about that." And he goes, "There is none in Canada. They're made in the
Really?
States. There's none made in Canada. We're making them in Canada." So I'm
Really?
like, in my mind, I'm like, is this guy going to offer me a Freedom Tracks? Like,
Oh, that would be awesome.
we started talking, and he's really cool. So we kept in touch. He's listening to us now, which is cool.
Well, good.
So yeah,
Because that was a very interesting start to that story. I was like, I don't know which way this is going. Is Terry about to be abducted? He's like, yeah, this car followed me. The
dude, I
guy
was
jumped
scared.
out.
Yo, PTSD from those kids.
Yeah,
And
right.
that's another story. Tim Hortons the other day, because
Okay.
I am going, I'm not stopping. There was
No, you shouldn't.
there was kids outside, and dude, I had PTSD. I'm like looking at them, I'm like, I'm okay, but it was just funny. I was just staring at them and wondering, is that the kids?
Yeah,
And
see,
if it was the kids, what am I gonna do?
and that goes back to what we talked about during the episode when I said that like that completely changes your trust in the world. So, you know what I mean? When something like that happens, it definitely affects you.
Honestly, more happened to that story. So I was looking at the kids because I'm not lying to you, man. I looked at them to see, is that the kid? And even if it
Mhm.
was, what am I gonna do?
Right.
Imagine it was the kid, and I went and checked him. People on the streets are gonna be like, "Why'd you hit a kid?"
Yeah.
so so I looked and I realized it's not the kid, even though one of them looked like it. But maybe it's because
Were you
all
profiling, Terry?
white kids look the same.
Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah, or profiling. That's fine.
So it wasn't. So we were at the lights together, and the one kid said, "That's really cool. Is that custom made?" And I'm like, "No,
Oh,
no,
cool.
I bought it." And so he didn't think it was a wheelchair connected to a thing in the front. He thought the whole gadget was one,
Oh,
which is
gotcha.
really cool. So I
That
was
is
like,
cool.
"No, no, yeah." So I was like, "No, no," and they were in their rollerblades and shit. It was cool. It was a
Really?
cool
For real?
interaction.
Rollerblades?
Yeah, yeah, rollerblades. Yeah,
I
it
haven't seen
was
rollerblades since the 90s, dude.
really.
Really?
Yeah, I guess not as common.
Yeah.
I don't know. What about roller
Huh.
skates? That's different. But okay.
Well, yeah, that's different.
So that story
Whew.
was leading to another story. I don't remember anymore. But oh, here's another side note. So a buddy of mine who lives in the other building, he has his girlfriend, and they went out, and his girlfriend uses walking sticks because she had problems with her hips or something. So
Yep.
she used it for
Okay.
balance, just for balance. And she was at the store, and some guy looked at her and goes, "Oh, those things get some miles, don't they?" Or something like that. He said some stupid comment, and then her boyfriend Dave looked at him and just gave him attitude and said, "Oh yeah," like he got all pissed off and shit. And he's telling me this, and I'm like, "Dude, this is my world, man." When people come up to me and say, "Hey, slow down, you're gonna get a ticket." So I'm glad somebody
Yeah.
else dealt with it, and
How many times, Terry? How many times, Terry, do we have to like
right,
why do people just feel the need to just say stuff? Why don't they just not?
all the
And
time, bro.
there's another so here's an interesting question, Terry.
Yeah,
I think we touched on this a little bit ago, but I can't remember. Um, do you personally feel the need to acknowledge another person in a wheelchair if you pass them in public? Like some kind of like how the motorcyclists do it and Jeep drivers do it.
yeah.
Do you look at the other one and be like, "Hey, I see your wheelchair"?
You damn right.
Yeah, I do too.
It's
I
a,
at least say hi. I at least look at him and go, hey, and I just keep on pushing.
sometimes I'm in a wheelchair and there's a scooter coming by and I don't
Uh,
want to say hi to the scooter. I'm like, no, we're not the same. Right.
gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
But I do. And there was a guy in a wheelchair outside the Timmy's, and I've never, there's rarely any guys in wheelchairs around here like my wheelchair. So when
Right.
you see one, you're like, what? That's family, right? I don't know why, but, and he
I
was doing,
usually I usually make the joke when we are like when we're out at the mall or whatever,
yeah,
and if a person pushing a stroller,
yeah.
like kind of if our paths cross and we both kind of stop so we don't bump into each other, I'll go, uh-oh, it's the rival gang.
When I'm on a sidewalk and if there's a baby stroller coming up, I give them the right of way.
Yeah, well,
You know, if it's a pedestrian, I'm like, get out of my way.
yeah, right. Like, where do you want me to go?
Yeah.
I run into that a lot, especially in towns where like there's a couple of towns near me where there's a lot of foot traffic. There's not a lot of vehicles, and if I'm wheeling, I'm like,
Yeah.
where do you want me to go? Do you want me to like, you know,
Yeah.
uh, man, we're coming out swinging. You can definitely tell we haven't seen each other in a couple weeks.
Bro. Oh, so I was saying there's a guy outside the Tim Hortons doing something with
Yeah,
his
yeah,
chair. And after I'm like, should I approach him? Should I not? After I got my coffee, I saw he was still there. So I went up to him beside him. I'm like, hey, bro, everything okay? And he looked at me and he goes, yeah, yeah, everything's cool. And then I'm like, cool. And then I just left. I'm not, what am I going to do? Hang out with him?
yeah,
And,
right.
but I don't know. I don't know if he appreciated that or he's like, F off. I'm doing something.
Yeah, it's a it's a
So,
it's a fine line.
yeah. And really, it depends on how long he's been in a chair too, because he could have been in there since 5. So he doesn't even recognize the chair. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, man.
So the random Terry list.
Yep. I
What's
got more.
on what's on the random Terry list? Keep it rolling.
Dude, I need this, bro.
All
This
right,
is so therapeutic for me right now.
send it.
Okay. So my okay. I need to renovate my washroom for my shower. It needs to be easier because I'm having issues. Okay. Nobody sees me in the evening times. I can't shower in the evening times because my body is just, it's too dangerous.
That's a good
So
way to put it.
it really is, man. It really is. And, you know, no matter how slow I take it, it's dangerous because like, I'm just too tired. So my buddy Brian, who's the contractor of my place, this guy's my like he's the best. He comes by because I call him from time to time. We talk to each other. I'm like, bro, you want to come over and check out my washroom? Let's see if you can do better. And when he came by, I already had a full day. Okay. So I was working out. I'm home. He came by and he saw me at my weakest moment. Dude, you haven't even seen me like this. It's really sad. It's the reason why I say that is because I'm sad. I'm really sad. I'm really scared, man. But dude,
Sure.
I'm so fatigued that you see it. You see me pick myself up. I'm falling forward, not falling forward, but like I'm using my arms a lot. And he saw it and he noticed it, and and I don't know. That's it. And he saw me melting because it was so hot outside, by the way, and today's really hot too. And he saw me melting, and I don't know. I don't know why it hit me. He saw the reel, and not only did he see the reel, but because of that, he asked me some more questions. So I realized that he noticed, and I don't know. It just scares me. I don't want to. I don't want to scare other people because I'm so weak sometimes. And
So what scares you? That the fact that he saw you, or that you were in a vulnerable state when somebody else saw you, or that you were just vulnerable to begin with, or like what was the thing that made it hit?
don't know, bro. I
Okay.
don't know, but you're right. I don't know. I don't know if it's because I was in a vulnerable state.
Okay. Well,
Maybe because
what
I'm worried that people. I don't know. I'm not gonna.
word that people are what? They're gonna judge you? Gonna think that you're not Terry because the the Terry that they see on here or the Terry that they interact with has
Almost like I'm gonna be excluded in life
ooh, okay.
because
Wow.
I'm already excluded in a lot. And just like I don't know. I don't know. He's not going to exclude me. Like, what is he going to exclude me from? But
Right.
I don't know.
Well, that's a
Weird. I know.
that is a very, I would imagine, a very universal feeling, Terry. I think that's a very core kind of thing because when you all right, so when you're able-bodied and you don't have any major health issues, you don't think about it. You think I can do whatever I want. I can any task or any everything is available to me. Then when you find yourself dealing with something major, then you, I don't know, I'd imagine it's a sadness. So like you said, being excluded. Well, who's excluding you? The disease is excluding you. Well, how is it excluding you? It's limiting your ability to do some physical things. But in 2025, that's not necessarily the case because there are a whole range of things that can help a lot of people do a lot of things. I mean, Terry, you rock climb. You know what I mean? Like, I would imagine decades ago, if someone in your situation wanted to rock climb, they didn't have the ability to. So that would exclude them from doing that. And now you're not excluded from that.
No, I hear you,
You
man.
know what I'm
I,
saying?
I,
Like,
I hear what you're saying.
but I understand the fear. The fear is real because you're like, okay, my whole life is now this chair, this bed,
You know,
you
maybe
know.
it's because he worried about me too.
Okay.
And I'm
And
not
how does
just
that,
worrying about myself. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
well, how do you, let's go into it. How do you feel when people, what do you feel when people worry about you?
It makes it real.
Okay.
It's real. I cannot avoid that, you know, again, it's slow, okay? But
Mm-hmm.
that I'm on my way out. It's real. Like
Right.
if I'm the way I am now in the evening times, if I'm the way I am now in 10 years, bro, there's that guy on the third floor that I've talked about before where he's
Right.
bedbound. He has
Right.
MS and he's bedbound. You never want to go to a support group and see someone like that there. Sorry, but that
No,
scares you.
no, I get it. And it's the first time I went to an MS support group. The room was full of wheelchairs and scooters, and I walked in without even a, cane. And I was like, oh, I guess this is where I'm headed. And you know what? And that's not necessarily the case because we do that. We do that without knowing how he came to be in that state because we don't know, the things that we have available to us now through medications and therapies and stuff like that, they didn't exist that long ago. So like, or they weren't widely available. So everyone's trajectory is a little different
Yeah, of
because
course.
of how they handled it, what was available, genetics. Like there's a whole host of factors. So like we always say, the wheelchair isn't contagious. You're not gonna, catch the wheelchair. So, but
I'm
I
just
understand completely.
I'm banking on Archivist, and my next MRI is coming up in 2 weeks. So I'm excited to see what they see. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here's a story. So I went on that whole rant a couple of times about the healthcare system and all the hospitals closing and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So I went and got an MRI 2 weeks ago, my annual MRI. I went on a Thursday. I called on Monday about my results because they hadn't hit my patient portal yet.
Okay.
So I was like, "Oh, I'm calling about the results of my MRI on Thursday." And they say, the woman says, "We don't have access to that data anymore." And I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Well, the place I went to was one of the last imaging centers that was owned by Crozier Keystone Health System." So on Thursday, I call, when I to confirm my appointment for that day, the lady answers the phone and she says, "Good morning, Crozier Keystone Imaging." And when I called on Monday morning to get my results, the same woman answered the phone and she said, "Good morning, Christiana Care Imaging. How can I help you?" And I went, "Oh no."
Wow.
So I asked where my results were,
Yeah.
and she said that they are in the process of being archived into the old Crozier Keystone system. And I said, "Well, how can I access them?" And she gave me the website and she said, "You log in with your social security number and you'll get your results there. But we have no time frame for when, if or when all of this will be converted into archive, but we don't have access to their network anymore. So I can't even give you any of things. She said currently as it stands now, it shows that you've never gotten an MRI from us. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I've had like 7 there.
Dude,
She
that's
goes, well,
crazy.
you had 7 under Crozier and now it's Christiana.
They gotta convert that, man. They gotta
They
transfer that
are.
shit.
Yeah, they are. And she said it will be available, but she says we have no idea how long it's going to take. It could take months. So I called my neurologist, and this is all like right before my back happened. I called my neurologist and I said, hey, or I sent him a message and I said, hey, this is what's going on. And he said, okay, well, if you don't hear anything in a week, I'll write you a script for another one. So then I called Medicare and I said, hey, this is what happened. And Medicare said, well, you're only covered for 1 a year unless you're in the hospital.
Yeah.
I was like, so this one's just going to sit in limbo forever and I'm not going to know what, if anything, has changed in my brain. She was like, yeah, pretty much, unless you want to pay for one.
Wow, bro.
I was like, oh my God.
How much is an MRI over there?
I don't know. Thousands, I'd imagine.
Like
I don't know.
thousands or tens of thousands?
Yeah. No, not tens, but definitely,
Okay.
definitely more than I can afford. So I fell victim to the
Damn it.
system. I should
I
have,
never thought it was gonna go that far.
yeah, I should have. It is, and honestly, it's kind of my fault. I had options to go other places, and this one was just the closest. And I was just be like, I'll just shoot up the road. It's only 5 minutes up the road. Be done in 45 minutes, home by lunchtime, right? Now it's this big headache. And not even his office can't even find the records. They're just floating in cyberspace somewhere.
I don't know what to say, man. So many other people are going through the same issue as you
Yeah.
right now. And they're
And oh, go ahead.
no, and that's not cool. I can't believe this is legal. I can't
Yeah.
believe we're in a first world country handling
Yeah.
documents like that. That's
Yep. And when I went to the ER about my back, I went to a hospital that's 45 minutes up the road just so that I would be in the same network as my neurologist. You know, they're the
yeah,
same health system.
yeah.
Another 8-hour wait. Another 8 hours in the ER before I got a bed and a doctor saw me and then he gave me some pain meds and sent me home. They're just not I can definitely tell. I mean, obviously everybody knows what's going on, but I can firsthand say that I've been present to see the shift from, oh, you have MS and you're having pain? Yes, let's keep you for a week, to, oh, you're in pain. Do you think you can manage it at home with pills? Like that's the shift has definitely been like, unless you're like, they're very hospitals in my experience are very they've locked down on admittance now. Like it used to be like, oh, please come on in and stay. We need you. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
we'll
yeah,
fix
yeah.
you up. Just stay for a week or whatever. Now it's like, do you think you can, be at home and take care of this?
Yeah.
Which is fine because I'd rather spend a week at home dealing with my back than in the hospital. You know?
Do you think that's to maximize their productivity to make
No,
as much money as possible?
no, I think it's because they physically don't have the room to deal with the people that are coming in because of all these hospital closures.
Yeah,
So
obviously.
it's the domino effect, But
I
so
want you to know that I have severe brain fog.
okay,
When I started talking about hernias, bilateral hernia.
you did.
Why was I talking about that? I was talking
I,
about that.
now, do you have them currently, or have you had
Yes,
them in the past? So you
because
currently have 2 hernias.
well, what happened was the story was I was talking to someone, that guy, the Freedom Tracks guy, the guy who
Yes,
stopped with the car,
who you want to be a sponsor? Hint, hint.
and he Bob hit us up, and Bob the bow hunter. So yes, we had a whole discussion about that.
Okay.
So I'm like, so what's your diagnosis? Because he had a hernia. I mean, he had a he had a cane, and he was, going to the car. And I said, so what's your issue? Because he asked me what my issue is. So I'm like, great, I can ask him. I'm like, so what's your issue? And then he started naming stuff, dude. he started naming stuff and this, that. Oh, he has polio, some other, like a lot of stuff. Yeah. And
Okay.
one of the things he said is I have bilateral hernia. And I've heard this before, and it just sounds so much more um, sophisticated when you say it like that. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't, maybe it's my uneducated mind. But whenever someone says bilateral hernia, so I look at him like, bro, what's a bilateral hernia? He's like, two hernias right here and here. I'm like, I had two hernias. And then he's like, well, what kind? I'm like, whatever. I had I can never say that word.
Ing- Inguinal.
Inguinal. I had
Yeah, there
both
you go.
inguinals. And he's like, me too. I'm like, so I had bilateral hernias. I don't know why that's so cool for me. So I had bilateral hernias, bro. Eat that.
Are you getting them dealt with, or are they just going to exist forever?
No. They're dealt with. They have
Oh,
surgery already.
oh,
That's
you
what I
already
mean.
did.
That's
Okay.
what I mean. I've
Okay.
had bilateral hernias.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's that ends the beginning of our episode
That makes
conversation.
sense. That makes sense. Okay.
Oh my God. I got more stuff, bro, but I don't wanna kill the time we have. I don't know how long we'll be talking. Do you want to hear a cool interaction or do you want to hear a washroom issue at a restaurant?
Both.
Wow, great. Let's start with a negative.
Works for me.
I'm going to my favorite restaurants. I know the washroom, but the last time I was there, which was a month ago ish, maybe a month and a half, the washroom smelled like sewer.
Mm.
And inside, it was a mess. Like someone used it and yeah, like
Yeah.
I wouldn't even touch it with a 10-foot pole. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no way, and I go outside and look at Katrina and I'm like, as soon as we're done, I need to go home because this place is not for me. Right.
Right.
And so when did I go there? 2 days ago, 3 days ago? My mom came in town. She's like, let's go to that place. I'm like, yeah, let's go. So I called the restaurant ahead of time and I said, hey, and the owner answers. Okay. I said, hey, what's going on, man? He's like, hi. I'm like, listen, I always come there. I'm in a wheelchair. You probably recognize me. And I hate the fact that I have to say that. I'm in a wheelchair. As soon as I said I'm in a wheelchair, he's like, oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah. Well,
So I said, listen, the washroom last time was out of order. I was just hoping that it would be clean and everything's okay with the washroom. I just want to make sure. And he said, oh, yeah, everything is fine. Everything is fine. So, and the way he cut me off, I wasn't comfortable because I said, I just want to make sure. Yeah. Everything is fine. So then I'm like, okay, because last time, yeah. Everything is working. Everything is good.
mm,
You know how this is going, but
mm,
I'll tell you the story, please. So I go to the restaurant and first thing we do when we get to our table, I say, okay, I'm going to go check out the washroom. I go, the door is the door, whatever. I pushed it to see inside and dude, it smells like there's some sewer pipe that's busted. It
yikes.
stinks. So, and the bowl, it's clean, but it's not like from that smell, I'm not comfortable touching
Sure.
anything. So I'm like, whatever. I go outside. I don't want to be dramatic. So I'm with at the table. I want to say I'm sitting at the table. So I roll over to the table and I'm there. And I do the whole eye roll, like it's okay. Let's just eat. So, we're eating, everything's fine. And then, I gotta use the washroom. So I head over to the washroom. May God be with me. And I get to the door. I try to open the door. It's locked. I
Oh
do
my
the
God.
whole remember the wave.
Yes.
So I do the
Yes.
wave. It doesn't open the door. So then I'm like, I go to 10, but I
Sure.
keep my cool. My mom's in town, So I go and Katrina already knows. I'm like, it's locked. It's locked. Get the team. It's locked. Like I'm going. And then she's like, so I go and the lady, she's so nice. I serve her, it has nothing to do with her. She runs
Sure.
over with a key. She's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. But, and then the door opens. I'm like, dude, do you smell that? Like as she's there, I'm so dramatic. So I go inside, I do my business. Um, uh, and it's like, first of all, when you transfer from a guy in a wheelchair, it's not like a smooth stand up sit. Sometimes it's a slide.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
Sometimes there's a slide and you don't want any friction. Like you just want to sit, get up, Anyway, so I do my thing. I'm fine. I'm like, I hope I don't have to go again because I have no energy to do this again. I'm tired, whatever. Usually I go to the washroom once if I ever go somewhere. So it's not like a big deal. Like I need to use it 100 times. So I go back to sit down. I roll back to my table and that's it. We're done. And I needed to use the washroom again in the end. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to do that again. So we rolled, we didn't take a car. We rolled over because it was like a 10-minute walk or roll, whatever. And
Right.
as I'm going back with them, three of us are going back. Halfway back, it hit. I had to go now.
Yikes.
And no one ever wants to talk about this, bro. But I had to go now.
Right.
I'm on my new cushion. I'm not gonna do it on my cushion. You know what I mean, man? Like
I do.
it's so many reasons. So what I do is I just gun it. And Katrina knows what's happening. My mom is like, what is he going? Where is he going? Where are you going? What are you in a rush? Katrina's like, let him go. And she knew,
Yeah.
get the hell out of my way, And I make it home barely. To be honest with you, I made it home, but like taking out the pants, I dribbled on the pants. And now I got to take off my pants, change my pants. I got to clean my floor because, I'm just a really clean freak. So
Yeah.
that's it. And I blame it all to the washroom and all from the stress. And, if it was clean, I would have used it again right before I left and I didn't want to. And I feel like
Yeah.
I have an infection from just being in that washroom.
I feel like I need a tetanus shot from just hearing
I'm
that
bro,
story.
I'm so sorry, bro. This is my life, bro.
Yeah, and and that sucks. And some and that's a shame because you frequent that place, so you'd think that the
Never.
staff would, you know what I mean? Like the staff would be like, "Hey, we always have this guy who comes in. Like we have a patron who repeatedly comes to our establishment."
Oh, I went to the table and I talked to the server. I said, "Is the owner here?" Because I didn't
Oh,
see him.
okay.
And I forgot about this. And she goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "Please bring him to the table." And I'm not a guy who's gonna say, "Yo, what the," but
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna reason and talk to you logically and see where you're coming from because this really pissed me off. The fact that the handicap button doesn't work and the washroom smells so bad. And I told Katrina, "Can you make sure the male and the regular female washroom might have a handicap stall? I'll just go use theirs."
Yeah, right.
And she went in both of them, not like she had to go, like I asked her to go. And but any movement now, I'm like, I'm gonna pee myself. I need to, control my bladder. So she goes into both of them, and they don't smell like the handicap one. And that pisses me off. Why is a handicap? Why do they like? It's just a handicap one. Who cares? They smell
Yeah.
like shit anyway. Those people. So that's it. And then the owner came to the table, and of course, what do you think he did? He apologized and
Uh-huh.
apologized. He said
Sure.
he had that button fixed last month, and it costed him 7, and then some kids broke it. I'm not buying that BS, man.
Yeah, me neither.
And I'm not going to be an asshole. So I look at him like, well, thanks for coming to the table anyway. He's like, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry. I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. But I didn't say this. I'm not going back there for a while.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
It's just a shame because and like you said, what was it, 10 minutes down the road? Like it was not that far. Or
Yeah, legit. It's like
so now
7 minutes.
so
Yeah.
now it's like, so where do we eat? So now Terry's gotta get into into the car, out of the car, then to a restaurant. Hope that bathroom works. Back in the car, back out of the car, back into it's like a whole thing now.
I can never believe anyone when they say it's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
fine.
my.
Fine is a weird term because it's like, it's okay. It's like, what does that mean?
And don't ever cut me off and say, like, Terry, how you? I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
You brush someone off like that, right? Just sounds
Yeah,
disrespectful.
I agree.
My good story. My good story. And
All
then we
right.
can end this. So, by the way, I realized that my mom, I love you if you're listening to this. I'm pretty sure you're not. But anyway, um, she's asking me questions now.
Okay.
First of all, I have someone beside me that's really in tune with what I'm going through. which I really feel bad because she has her own issues and it's all about me. So I always want to make sure that we focus on her, as we all should be focusing on our caregivers because they mean so much to us.
Very true.
So my mom is asking me questions that she should have been asking me 10 years ago. And
Okay.
that gets to me
Why?
because 10 years ago, I always use the word respect. I don't think anyone respected that I had MS.
Okay.
I think people thought I was fine and they didn't even look into it and they didn't think it was going to stay. It was always like, oh, it's just a phase.
Now, this is a question.
Mhm.
All right. So I have a question and I don't know if you can answer it, but
Yeah.
from your, was it in your mother's culture to acknowledge handicaps or to hide them? Because
Yeah. We all,
we've talked to a lot of people around the world, and a lot of other cultures don't acknowledge and embrace the handicap. They kind of put it aside and keep it minimized. So could it be that kind of a thing where it's just like she was taught, like the culture that she came up in just didn't acknowledge it? I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Just
no,
asking.
no, no, you're not, you're
Okay.
fine. No, no.
Okay.
Yeah. I've heard it many times too from O'Neill and stuff too, as well. He talks
Right.
about it,
Right.
how they kind of like hide the disability because
Hmm.
it's a shame in the family. I don't know what you want to call it, but yeah, they hide it. If you don't see it, you don't know about it. It's, but I don't know, man. Fine. If that's the ouch you're gonna give my mom.
No, well, it's not an out. It's more of like a, see, there's things in my life that I wouldn't think to acknowledge or ask. And, so I'm just wondering if it took her that amount of time to see
I get what you're saying.
how you're dealing with it to now say, oh, okay, Terry is very open, more open than most people, even because of what we do here and the
Yeah.
advocacy work and all that stuff. So maybe, people, I want to err on the side of, um, she had a change of heart because now she has knowledge because of what you're doing. So that led her to be inquisitive. That makes sense.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
that's
I
what
get it.
that's what I want to believe.
I'm
I want to believe that.
I'm just not gonna think about it, so I don't go into that crazy spiral of thinking, and
Gotcha.
because
All
I'm
right.
like 10 years too late.
Okay.
Let me just be grumpy, bro. Uh,
You
okay.
can.
So good story. It's always at the Tim Hortons. It's always at the coffee shop
Well, you don't.
because
How many places do you go? Like,
that's what I'm saying. I always
you
like to
know.
go out and about, and then I always hit my coffee shop.
Sure.
So I went there, and I went with Katrina. This is actually the day after those kids, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go get a coffee. She's like, I'm gonna walk with you, and I said, and I'm like, why? It's not even that sunny outside. And she's like, oh no, I just want to go for the walk. I'm like, are you going for the walk to make sure I'm not gonna get picked on? She's like, I just want to make
uh,
sure. I just want to make sure you're safe.
bodyguard.
And I'm like, I don't need you to walk with me. She's like, I'm gonna walk with you. I'm like, okay, let's go. So we went to Timmy's, and the cashier, what a great lady. She looks at me, and she's making our coffees, and she actually looks at Katrina. She looks at me and says, hey, no offense to what I'm about to say.
That's always a good way to start.
No, no, dude. Oh, wait. I wrote it down. I think I forget exactly how she said it. Dude, I don't know how she said it. She goes, no disrespect what I'm about to say.
Mm.
And I look at her and I could just see the ambiance off her face is smiling. And I'm just like, you know what? Whatever you're about to say, I'm gonna be cool with just because she said that. I don't know why. So she's talking to Katrina, right? So that's kind of a
Mm.
respectful thing to me, like acknowledging I'm about to say something. I'm not trying to trigger you. And I'm like, say it. And she goes, so usually when someone with a disability orders a coffee and wants a tray, I double tray it so that it doesn't spill on them and their lap. And she's like really thinking for me. And I was looking at her and smiling, and I'm like, you know what? That was really cool. I don't know what to say. I never have good interactions like that.
That is cool.
And then she looks at me and goes, you want to hear a joke? And at this point, I'm like, lady, I ain't a little kid. Like,
Right.
I don't want to hear freaking jokes. But she told me the joke and I laughed. Here's the joke. What fruit, what is a what kind of fruit likes going down a slide?
Oh boy.
It's so silly.
I don't know.
A kiwi. I'm sorry. I'm done. And we're done. Over.
Oh my God. Oh, hilarious. Is
Thanks,
that,
bud.
did we complete your total list of random Terry?
I think so. I have stuff written everywhere, I'm pretty sure, for now. And if not, we'll leave it for next time.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's good to be back. It's good to see you. It was a horrible week, brother. I'm glad that week's over. I'm glad the medicine is working for me. Um, I'm glad to be back on the show.
I'm glad you're back, bro. I am. I'm sorry. I know we talked off the show a few times, but
Yeah. But oh my God, I was in so much pain. Even when I FaceTimed you the other day from up the mansion, I was like, I think that was the drugs that was just keeping me going. I had so many in my system, I didn't even know where I was. I was like,
yeah.
oh yeah, look at where we're at.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
Alrighty.
cool. You should do a show there one day. But okay.
We should. I'll track my gear up there and I'll go live from up there, or I'll record from up there. All right, brother. Thanks everybody for sticking with us through this one. Glad you're back. Always, if you want to reach out, want to chat about something, if we want us to talk about a topic or anything like that, just let us know. Um, Otherwise, talk to you next week. Peace.
So check us out at 40belowzero.com. That's 4 letter T below 0.com. Or feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Our email address is info@40belowzero.com. Our personal Instagram account are, for Nix, it's Nix_V713. Or for Terry, it's What's_MS. Awesome. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. We'll talk soon.